Hi viewers, today we are going to learn about planar graphs. Today we will study the question of whether a graph can be drawn in the plane without edges crossing. There are always many ways to represent a graph. When is it possible to find at least one way to represent this graph in a plane with no two edges crossing each other? We discussed planar graphs, prove that some graphs are not planar, and state Krotowski's characterization of planar graphs. What is the benefit of studying planar graphs? Did you thought about it? There are many practical applications with a graph structure or therein which crossing between edges is a nuisance, such as design problems for circuits, subways, utility lines. Crossing of two connections normally means that the communications lines must be run at different heights. For instance, in a city planning, subway tunnels, pipelines, metro lines are essential in 21st century. Due to crossing, there are chances of accident. Also, the cost of crossing of roads in underground is high, but underground roads reduce the traffic jam. In a city planning, routes without crossing are perfect for safety. These kinds of applications are designed by the concept of planar graphs. Let me start with formal definition of planar graph. A graph is said to be embeddable in the plane or planar if it can be drawn in the plane so that no two edges intersect, that is, its edges intersect only at their ends. Such a drawing is called a planar embedding of the graph. A graph is said to be non-planar if it has no planar embedding. A concept is best understood by example. So, let me give an example of a planar graph. Now, consider the graph K4, the 4 vertices V1, V2, V3 and V4 and 6 edges E1, E2, E3, E4, E5 and E6. We can see that here the two edges E5 and E6 are crossing. So, we can think about that is it non-planar graph, but is it not? This graph can be also rewrite like this. Here the edge E5 can be represented like a curve. In this graph no edges are crossing. So, clearly K4 is a planar graph. Also this K4 can be redrawn like this way. This figure also the same vertices and edges, also the degrees are the same, these 3 figures also. Here in this figure no edges are crossing. So, obviously K4 is a planar graph. Next, one more example like K5 minus E. Here 5 vertices V1, V2, V3, V4 and V5 and 9 edges E1, E2, E3, E4, E5, E6, E7, E8 and E9. Here we can see that the edges E6, E7, E8 and E9 are crossing, but this figure can also rewritable like this way. Here the edge E6 and the edge E7 can be represented like this way. In this figure we can see that no edges are crossing. So, K5 minus E is planar graph. This graph can be represented, can be drawn in a plane, so is also a plane graph. But K5 is non-planar, we will discuss later on. Next, let us see two remarks relating planarity and isomorphism of graphs. If two graphs are isomorphic and if one is planar, then the other is also planar. The second one is if two graphs are isomorphic and if one is a plane graph, then the other need not to be a plane graph. Next, let us see an important theorem used in proving planarity in graphs. The theorem is Jordan curve theorem. Any simple closed curve C in the plane partitions the rest of the plane into two disjoint arcwise connected open sets. In this theorem, we assert that every Jordan curve divides the plane into an interior region bounded by the curve and an exterior region containing all the nearby and faraway vertices and exterior points, so that every continuous path connecting a point of one region to a point of the other intersects with the loop somewhere. Now, we will go with an important theorem. K5 is non-planar graph. The proof of the theorem is, we prove this theorem by the method of contradiction. Suppose that K5 is planar. Now, let V1, V2, V3, V4, V5 be the vertices of K5 and let G be a planar embedding of K5. As G is complete, any two of its vertices are joined by an edge. Now, the cycle C is V1, V2, V3, V1 is a simple closed curve in the plane and the vertex V4 must lie either in interior of a curve C or in exterior of C. We shown this figure. In this figure, without loss of generality, let us assume that V4 is interior of C. Then the edges V1, V4, V2, V4, V3, V4 also lie entirely in interior of C. Now, consider the cycle C1, V2, V3, V4, V2 and the second cycle C2, V3, V1, V4, V3 and the another cycle V1, V2, V4, V1. Now, note that Vi is in exterior of Ci where I is equals to 1, 2 and 3, as the edge Vi, V5 and G is a plane graph. It follows from the Jordan curve theorem that V5 is exterior of Ci where I is equals to 1, 2 and 3. Hence, V5 is in exterior of C, but now the edge V4, V5 crosses C. Again by the Jordan curve theorem, this contradicts the fact that G is a planar embedding of K5. By using similar argument, we can also prove that the graph K33 is also non-planar. Next, we talk about the definition of subdividing an edge. An edge xy is said to be subdivided if a new vertex z is added to the graph and the edge xy is replaced by the edge xez and zy. This process is known as the subdivision of the edge xy. Next, let us see an example for edge subdivision of graph. The following figure 5 shows that the subdivision of K5 and K33. In this graph K5 and K33, we are subdividing the edges by a new vertex. Using this subdivision operation also form a graph G, we can get a bigger graph. Next, let us see the definition of two graphs being homeomorphic. Two graphs are said to be homeomorphic if both graphs can be obtained from the same graph by a sequence of subdivision of the edges. Every cycle can be obtained from a cycle of similar length by a series of edge subdivisions. Hence, we have the next example of homeomorphic graphs. Any two cycles are homeomorphic. Next, we formally state a characterization of planar graph, which is known as Krotowski's theorem. This theorem can be just extensive, so we omit the proof of this theorem. The statement of this theorem is a graph G is planar if and only if G does not contain a subdivision of K5 or K33 as a subgraph. We illustrate this theorem by showing the Petersen graph. Here we can see the Petersen graph. In this graph, we cannot redraw without crossing edges. Also, we construct the subgraph of Petersen graph. Here also, we cannot redraw without crossing the edges, which is also a subdivision of K33. Already we know that K33 is non-planar, so we can easily say that Petersen graph is also a non-planar graph. Now, we will go with the definition of contraction. Let U and V be two adjacent vertices in a graph G. The graph obtained from G by the removal of U and V and the addition of a new point W adjacent to the neighbors of U or V is called an elementary contraction of G. Next, let us see the definition of contractible. A graph G is contractible to a graph H if H can be obtained from G by a sequence of elementary contractions. Next, let us see the following theorem which gives the characterization of a planar graph. A graph is planar if and only if it does not have a subgraph contractible to K5 or K33. Coming to the next topic in this class, the definition of a faces of a plane graph. The definition of faces is, let G be a graph embedded on the plane pi. Then pi minus G is the union of disjoint regions. Such regions are called the faces of G. Next, let us see the definition of an exterior face. Each plane graph has exactly one unbounded face called the exterior face. Next, let us see the definition of an edge in the boundary of a face in a plane graph. The definition of boundary is, let F be a face of the plane graph G and E be any edge of G. Let P be a point in face F. Then E is said to be in the boundary of face F if for every point Q of pi on E, there exists a curve joining P and Q which lies entirely in the face F. Now, let us move on to an example. Consider the following plane graph. This graph has four faces A, B, C and D. These faces have 5, 4, 8 and 3 edges in their boundary respectively. A is the exterior face of a graph G. For any plane graph G and each of its boundary face F, there exists a plane embedding of G such that the face F becomes unbounded. This can be shown using the stereographic projection the graph G. Suppose that we have a plane embedding of G. Put a sphere tangent to the plane and map the plane onto the sphere to the north pole as this figure. In this way, we obtain the image of G of the surface of the sphere. We now rotate the sphere in such a way that the desired face contains the north pole. From the new north pole, we then project the sphere back onto the plane. a new plane embedding of G is obtained. The face that was bounded in the first embedding now becomes unbounded in this new plane embedding. Therefore, the following proposition holds. Next, let us see a proposition which gives a necessary and sufficient condition for a graph to be planar. The proposition is a graph can be drawn on the sphere without intersection of edges if and only if it is planar. Next, let us see the definition of a maximal planar graph. The definition of maximal planar is a graph G is maximal planar if G is planar, but the addition of an edge between any two non-adjacent vertices of G results in a non-planar graph. Now, let us see example of maximum planar graph. The following graph gives is a maximal planar graph. The figure is shown in the screen. Next example is for 1 less than or equals to n less than or equals to 4. The only maximum planar graph of order n is k n. Next, let us see the definition of outer planar graph. The definition of outer planar graph is a planar graph is said to be outer planar if it can be drawn on the plane so that all its vertices lie on the same face. This face is often chosen to be the exterior face. Now, let us see example of outer planar graph. Cycles and trees are all outer planar graphs. Next, let us see the definition of maximal outer planar graph. The definition is an outer planar graph G is maximal outer planar if no edge can be added without losing the outer planarity of G. Next, let us see an example for maximal outer planar graphs. K4 minus E is a maximal outer planar graph. Next, let us see the definition of genus of a graph. The genus of a graph G is the minimum number of handles to be attached to a sphere so that G can be drawn on a resulting surface without intersecting lines. Now, let us see example for genus of a graph. The genus of a planar graph is 0 and the genus of a K5, K33 is 1. Next, let us see some problems on planarity of graphs. The first problem is so that the graph K5 minus E and K33 minus E are planar. The solution of this problem is the following figures shows the planar embedding of the graphs obtained by deleting an edges from K5 and K33. In this graph, K5 and K33 are non-planar graphs, but in this figure we remove one edge from K5 and K33, we get a planar graph. The next problem is if a graph n1 m1 and n2 m2 graphs are homeomorphic, then n1 plus n2 is equals to n2 plus m1. The solution of the problem is let n1 m1 be a graph represent as G1 and n2 m2 graph represent as G2. These two graphs are homeomorphic. Hence, G1 and G2 can be obtained from a n comma m graph by a series of edge subdivisions, say R and S subdivisions respectively. In each subdivisions, the number of vertices as well as the number of edges increases by 1. Therefore, n1 is equals to n plus r1 and m1 is equals to m plus r1, n2 is equals to n plus s and m2 is equals to m plus s. Hence, we have n1 plus m2 is equals to n2 plus m1. Hence, the proof. The next problem is prove that k r comma s is planar if and only if the set r comma s is less than or equals to 2. The solution of the problem is if G contains k33, then G is non-planar. Hence, k r comma s is non-planar when minimum of r and s is greater than or equals to 3. When minimum of r and s is equals to 2, then the planar embedding of k r comma s is given in the figure shown in the screen. Also, k 1 comma s is a subgraph of the above graph, and we know that the subgraph of a planar graph is a planar graph. Hence, k r comma s is planar if and only if minimum of r and s is less than or equals to 2. The next problem is so that every maximal outer plane graph with at least 3 vertices is 2 connected. The solution of the problem is let G be a maximal outer planar graph embedded with every vertex on the unbounded face. If G is not connected, then adding and edge joining vertices of distinct components still leaves every vertex on the unbounded faces, contradicting G being maximal outer planar. If G has a cut vertex V and U and W are the vertices before and after V in a walk around the unbounded faces, then adding the edge UV still leaves every vertex on the unbounded face, since V is visited at another point in the walk, contradicting G being maximal outer planar. Hence, G is 2 connected. Hope you all understood the concept of planar graphs and try to make use of it. Try to create many more examples and learn about the properties of planar graphs. Thank you.